Brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Robinson off the right side, breaks free. Bijan Robinson spinning down the sideline, still going. Can they catch him? They cannot. Touchdown, Falcons, 81 yards. Scrambles and ball batted down and intercepted. Off the deflection. The interception is made by Malone, who steps in there and makes a game-clinching pick. They're down and one. Ball's on the ground. And it's recovered by Nashawn Wright. Snap a bit high. Kick is good. And the Bears win it. Jake Moody, a hero tonight. 2-2. Trinan ready. Terrain, a swing and a miss. And Blake Trinan closes the door. The Brewers strand, the bases loaded. And the beleaguered Dodger bullpen searching for answers. They found one in Blake Trinan tonight.
1 out, 2 on. Tied at 3. Swinging a fly ball drilled right center field. This is back at the wall, and it's gone! The Mariners flip the script in the 5th. Jorge Polanco has done it again. It is 6-3 Mariners in the 5th inning. Now the stretch, and the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to third. Up with the ball, Gino. Down to second one. Polanco's relay to first, and the ball game is over. The Mariners are 2 wins away from the promised land. They take a 2-0 lead over the Toronto Blue Jays with a 10-3 win here in Rogers Center. They win the opening 2 games on the road.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome in to the Mayo Money Management Studio. It's another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. Landon Winkler's over in the corner. He is keeping us on the air. Sports Day today is presented by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. Your sounds of the past 24 hours, it's how we kick off every single show, except for one later this week. Don't worry about it. We'll get to them eventually, and I'll tell you about that when it comes up. But your sounds of the past 24 hours, the Atlanta Falcons defeated the Buffalo Bills on the first of 2 Monday Night Football games last night by a score of 24-14. Bijan Robinson ran for over 170 yards and a touchdown, including an 81-yard touchdown run. You heard the call from Chris Collinsworth there. I've said it before. Look, I'm from the state of Georgia. I love and hate the Atlanta Falcons in equal measure, but I'm a Falcons fan, and I like when they win. And last night they won, and they looked dang good doing it. Holding that team, that offense, to 14 points. Josh Allen completed a little more than 50% of his passes for not nearly as many yards as I thought he was going to get on the night. They sacked him twice, I think intercepted it. I know intercepted him twice. I think sacked him twice. It was really an impressive game for Atlanta. For the first time in years, the Atlanta Falcons have a real-life defense, and that's something I haven't been able to say in a very long time. And it showed out last night. Also, Bijan Robinson is maybe the best player in the NFL. He's certainly up there. He may be the best running back right now, especially with the Eagles struggling the way that they are. So I definitely think that Atlanta has opportunities. Right, Michael Penix didn't look great in what's his, I think, 7th start in the NFL. He'll learn. He'll get there. I've got full faith in Michael Penix Jr. He's got all the tools. He's just got to learn what he's doing. And right now, the offense runs through number 7, and number 7 is a bad, bad man. And just as a fan of the team, it's so fun to watch. Falcons are 3-2, and I feel like I'm pretty happy with their performance so far this year, outside of that just bizarre loss to the Panthers in week 2, I think it was, week 2 or 3. But they looked really good against the Commanders last week. Now in another primetime game, they look even better against the Buffalo Bills. Against, a really good Buffalo Bills team, reigning MVP and Josh Allen on that squad. I thought the Falcons had a chance to win. I didn't think that they would do it. I didn't think that they would do it by looking that good defensively. So really impressive stuff from Atlanta, and I'm really happy about it. Other sounds. The Bears beat the Commanders in the other Monday night game. The Commanders were driving with the lead late to put the game away, but a fumble by quarterback Jaden Daniels was recovered by the Bears, leading to a walk-off field goal by Jake Moody, who used to be a member of the Commanders. Or excuse me, used to be with the 49ers is where Jake Moody was. And now with the Bears and kicking game-winning field goals against the Commanders. But this game, I did not watch most of this game. I was stuck watching the game that my own team was playing in, obviously. But I did see this fumble, and I did see this last-minute drive by the Bears. This was a pretty wild game, based on what I could tell. I know that both offenses had okay days. Neither of them had great days, which, you kind of expect Jaden Daniels to have a better day than he did, especially with that fumble, because that fumble was, I've seen the tape, it's 100% on Jaden Daniels. He never has a firm grasp of that football, and it was raining, but, man, this is the NFL. You've got to be able to handle a wet ball, and Jaden Daniels fumbles the ball, trying to get it to Bill McCroskey-Merritt. If they get a first down there, the game's just about over. But the game turns on its head because of that fumble. Turnovers are the equalizer, man. Turnovers will win and lose a football game in a hurry if you let it. So, happened last night to the Commanders, and the Bears moved to 3-2 on the year. In the NLCS for game one of the NLCS between the Brewers and the Dodgers. The Brewers loaded the bases down by 1 in the bottom of the ninth, but Dodgers pitcher Blake Treinen struck out Bryson Turang to end it. Game 2 in Milwaukee is set for tonight. If you watch this game, I didn't include this in the sounds. I considered it. But the pitch before the strikeout, it was the 2-2 pitch, and Turang takes a pitch on the inside. It's a back foot slider that would have cracked him right in the kneecap if he doesn't move, and it would have drove in the tying run. And now everyone is saying how badly how bad of a thing it was that he moved his leg out of the way. And all I'll say to that is, like, man, fight or flight. That guy didn't know that guy's body has no idea that he's in a big time playoff game. He's reacting. He's trying not to get hurt, because that's what you do all year, is you get out of the way of those pitches. Because, again, that was going to hit ball onto bone, and it would have been an RBI for him. But, boy, there's no telling what kind of structural damage that could have done. Or even if it didn't, it still would have hurt like crazy. So I don't blame Bryson Turang for moving himself out of the way of the ball. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it was an instinctual thing. I do blame him for striking out at the pitch that he swung at on the next pitch, because that sucker was, way above the strike zone. Went with the high fastball, and high fastball is where a lot of guys go to get strikeouts. It's a really tough pitch to lay off of, but that was a very high strike. Definitely would have been ball 4. Definitely would have been the game-tying RBI if he lets it go by. But here we are. The Dodgers are ahead of the Brewers, 1-0, and again, they've still got to play all those games in LA, assuming they make it that far. But man, Dodgers ahead 1-0. Brewers the hosting team, and they dropped a game at home. Lastly, the Seattle Mariners have now taken 2 games in Toronto. They dominated Game 2. J.P. Crawford continues his great stretch of October baseball by hitting a 3-run homer, one of 3 home runs by the Mariners in this game. They won it 10-3. This was a weird game because Toronto, again, I didn't get to see all of it because I was otherwise occupied last night, but Toronto didn't look very good in this game at all. It was a really interesting look for them, a team that has looked really good this year, that has a good pitching core, but they had it tied at 3 in the 5th inning. J.P. Crawford hits that 3-run home run, and the Mariners just continue to pour it on. And look, I like the Mariners. Of the teams that are left, they're probably the team that I'm rooting for. But it just felt like a bit of a give up from Toronto, and that's not something you're used to seeing in October when you're playing baseball. So this is going to be an interesting series. We have Game 2 of the NLCS tonight. You will hear that on our airwaves. We'll preview that game way later in the show. But for right now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get to our first break. Hey, we've got a great show for you today. When we come back on the other side of this break, we've got Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. He joins us for our typical Tuesday conversation. After that, we spoke to Lyles Lashley, head coach of Great Bend cross country, as well as track and field. But we're going to talk cross country here, given that the season is where it is. Getting ready for WAC championships down in Liberal, and Coach Lashley is going to talk with us about those. And but before that, Wyatt Thompson talks about K-State's big win over TCU. You'll hear that conversation when we come back. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
All here at Great Bend Rec. Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Hi, this is Gordon Deal. Wednesday on This Morning, America's First News. As the government shutdown enters its third week, a look at the strategy being employed by House Speaker Mike Johnson on Democrats. Also, a potential AI bubble and tariff concerns may be trying to lasso the stock market, but the bull keeps charging forward. We'll explain why. And what young workers are doing that may be holding them back. Wednesday on This Morning, America's First News.
Wednesday morning at 6 on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars! Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, Mr. Wyatt Thompson. Wyatt, thank you so much for taking the time. Things feel like they're just a little bit brighter in Manhattan today.
No doubt about it. Winning football games is hard. When you do it, it feels really good. I think K-State played a decent football game. It was far from perfect, but beat TCU last Saturday 41-28, and they're now at 3-4, 2-2 into the off week, and then with their rival Kansas coming next week, time to kind of catch your breath, get a little bit maybe more healthy, hopefully, and enjoy that good win. They did some good things, man. They ran the ball a little bit better, had a couple of defensive touchdowns. Garrett Oakley had kind of a record-setting day for tight end touchdowns in a career, so lots of things to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with the big picture stuff. After the game, Chris Kleiman said openly, look, over the last 3 weeks, we've been getting better and better, and finally it feels like K-State is approaching what he thought this team would look like so far.
Yeah, I think so, and you know, I think there's a lot of things that go into that. I think we would all probably talk about better physicality, toughness, effort over the last couple of 2 or 3 games here. They are getting a little bit more push at the line of scrimmage. I really like what Avery's doing now. It was great to have Jaron Bradley back in the ball game with TCU. He makes such a difference, especially when you don't have a Dylan Edwards, and who knows what the situation with Dylan will be moving into the game next week. But I think too, the defense has to kind of shore up some things. They were pretty good Saturday, with the exception of probably a couple of 3 or 4 pretty big plays there in the second half, and specifically in the fourth quarter with long throws and plays. You got to kind of clean that up, man. You just got to do it.
You touched on it there a little bit. It's kind of cliche. It's a word I hate to use, but it is a word that gets thrown around a lot in the sport of football. But the offensive and defensive line for K-State played with a physicality that I don't think they have shown so far this year. And it just feels like over the weeks they continue to improve, and it's really moving in the right direction.
Well, you hope that is the case. It certainly feels like that now, but you've got certainly hard games coming with Kansas and then Texas Tech in here in Manhattan. And we know what they are at the line of scrimmage, so you need to get better. But I've said this in other interviews. I'll say it to you and your listening audience that I think Devin Bass stepping up has helped. I think Gus Hawkins stepping up and helping has helped. And what I mean by that is when you put that in line with the fact that I think Portier and Sam Hecht are starting to play at the level that everybody thought they would, now you're starting to kind of build a little bit of something. So I think it starts there, and it takes time, because they have had some injuries there with several guys, but J.B. Nelson's still unavailable. I don't know what his situation is in terms of when he might be able to go again. So you're rotating a lot, and I'm probably leaving some guys out. I mean, they've played Palalele a little bit in there and what have you. So they're growing and getting better, hopefully.
Focus on some individuals here. Desmond Purnell, a whale of a game for him, has a sack, gets a pick six on the next play, has another interception later in the game, and was named Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week for his efforts. Just a great game for him.
Well, I'm really excited for him, and Coach talked about this after the game, what a smart football player he is. He's been around here a long time. He's a good leader. He talked, too, about putting him in better spots, which I thought was interesting, and it was more in, like, coverage scheme type stuff. And as he talked about, Des has been around a long time. He is smart, knows what he's doing, and you put him in the right place, good things can happen. And I think that was in combination what we saw. And you're right, man. You just said the numbers there. He put together a whale of a game. I love the sack and then the pick six back-to-back. It's hard to do that, but he did it. It was great.
And just looking at the defense as a whole, multiple fourth down stops, multiple turnovers that they force, and while, like you said, they did give up some explosive plays, it feels like, again, I hate to sound like a broken record here, but the defense is just moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I think so. The one thing I'd like to have back is a couple of plays that they got on K-State late in the game with a good receiver in Eric McAllister, but you have to account for those, and that came against a really, really good young corner here in Zayshawn Rich. So if you can get a little bit of that shored up, now you're going to miss Tobi Osensami for a while here, and he's their best pass rusher. There's speculation that he could even miss the rest of the season, and that may be so. I haven't told that specifically yet, but I think he did suffer a significant injury, and he's the best pass rusher. So you've got to get more out of Chidi Obiaizo and Ryan Davis and Cody Stufflebean and some of those guys that have been around here, and especially coming up with KU with Jalen Daniels, who's such a dual threat option for Kansas, and then Tech with their toughness and physicality to be able to run and throw. You got a lot of work to do, but that's why we play.
Let's talk about Avery Johnson real quick. Just another good game for him. 3 touchdown passes in this one. Didn't turn the ball over. Had a decent game on the ground as well, and was kept clean for the most part.
I think Avery's continuing to grow, Brent, to be real honest with you. I really like what he's doing. I think the coaches would certainly tell you that. He didn't have the same numbers necessarily that he did a week ago in Waco when he threw for 344 yards, but that's not necessarily all that they needed Saturday, too. They did a better job running the ball. You have 110 yards on 27 carries from Joe Jackson. You throw it enough. I'll again repeat myself here, but J.B. Bradley being back, he had a couple of catches, including that one beautiful throw and catch from Avery on, I think it was a 26-yarder. So I think he's, progressing as a player, getting more comfortable in terms of, what he's doing, how they want him to run the ball, and all of that is important. He's a really talented player, and he's just been at a different level here in the last 3 games.
And something else that stood out to me about his stat line was the fact that he completed passes to, I think, 7 or 8 different receivers. There were multiple guys getting open, and he was finding them.
Well, he was. I mean, we talked about, a lot of guys there, but, I mean, he hit Joe Jackson out of the backfield. He hit Garrett Oakley and Tibbs and several other guys, Jace Brown. Jace was dinged up a little bit, but still contributed. And I think that's what we all thought this was going to be when this journey started. Lots of options. You've had some growing pains and some things don't necessarily go your way, but you stay with it, believe in the process, and I think Avery is part of that. So it's been improving, and you hope you can continue to do that.
No game this week for K-State. What do you think is the biggest goal for the football team during the bye week?
Well, I think a couple of 2 or 3 things come to mind there. One, I think you need to get that mental break in and yet get a lot of work done within the program for not only some of the younger guys and get healthier for some of the veteran guys, but, hey, next week's a big game, man. There's no doubt about it. You're sitting there at 2-2 in the league. It isn't what you wanted, but, after the way the season started, everybody knows what this is going to mean for both schools, right? We'll talk about it, I know, a lot more next week, but both these schools want this game, and they're going to put a lot of work into it the next couple of weeks to get there because KU's in a bye week too. So we may see some things next week that we haven't seen from either team, right? I'd expect it to be that way.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch this just as a fan. I mean, anytime you can play a rivalry game like this, and it's such a big deal, but especially with both teams having 2 weeks to prep for it.
Yeah, 100% true, because you know that KU, the job that Lance has done there is really well done too. I think I'm prejudiced, of course, but I think Chris Kleiman's been a very consistent winner here. Both of these teams, I think, bring some things to the table. And again, that 1-2 factor for this game is going to be large. I just hope, you have a really good football game. It doesn't always necessarily play out that way, but it's Big 12 football, man. Why wouldn't you think it's going to be close and hotly contested? And they're good. It's going to be a hard go over there, no doubt. K-State's going to have to play one of their better games, if not their best game, to win.
And you mentioned it before we actually started recording this phone call, but you're in a busy season for yourself right now, even though there's no football game on right now because, well, basketball season's about to start up, and you've got a game to worry about. Yeah,
it isn't going to be a start until next Friday night, a week from this Friday in Columbia, Missouri, but then we'll do the following Friday night at home in exhibition game number 2 against Newman. And then it's go time for the regular season. And I know with as many new faces as K-State has, there's a lot of fans that are anxious to see what they're going to look like. There is some excitement with some of the players they've brought in, like P.J. Haggerty, who was an All-American in Memphis last year. And you know the other names of those guys. I've watched a lot. I'm excited to get this thing going and kind of see where they're at. And they'll get a really good test in Columbia. Mizzou's got a handful of guys back and some really good quality transfers and recruits. So we're honing in on it. There's no doubt.
Things always exciting in the Big 12. He is Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. Wyatt, once again, thanks so much for the time, man. It is always a pleasure.
It is my pleasure to talk to you, partner. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, sir. You too. You're listening to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Big thanks to Wyatt Thompson. Once again, I mean, I say it every time. Again, bless. Again, I sound like a broken record. I did in the interview, and now I am here in just regular talking to you folks. But Wyatt Thompson is just the nicest dude of all time. A KVGB alum, and very well respected in the world of broadcasting, and just a joy. Just always a fun time, and really insightful as well. And I mean, look, had great thoughts about a really good game for Kansas State, and I think that after that conversation, I'm a lot more optimistic about K-State than he is. I kind of got the air from that conversation where he said, yeah, that's a win, but there's still a lot to work on. And sure, there is. You're only, 6 games into the season now. So I think that he's right, and there are things they have to worry about. But I do think that this was the best game that K-State's defense has played so far. Yeah, they gave up some explosives in garbage time, and they did give up a long touchdown on the last play of the game from scrimmage that probably they shouldn't have. But other than a couple of fourth-quarter mistakes, when the game was basically already won, then I feel like Kansas State had probably their best game of the year. I feel like Chris Kleiman feels that way. And you're going into a bye week off a win, and that is just such a good feeling. And certainly not the feeling that Kansas has right now, because Texas Tech, who is a very, very good team, took KU to the woodshed on Saturday. That was not a pretty game. 9 sacks by the Red Raiders in that contest. That's an insane amount. And now they've got to regroup. And look, Kansas State's defense is not as good as Texas Tech's. I don't think that's going to be a shock to anybody. But the fact is that anytime you give up 9 sacks in a game, you had some failures on the offensive line, and you had some failures in the scheme, and you had some failures as far as maybe making some decisions that you shouldn't have. And Lance Leipold talked about that in his post-game press conference, where he talked about how they did try to change some scheme stuff up, but it didn't really work. And now they have to take some extra time during this bye week, since they've got 2 weeks to prep for this K-State game. They're going to have to figure out ways to protect Jalen Daniels. I do that all the time. I did it a whole lot last year when I was talking about the SEC a lot more, and I spoke about Jaden Daniels a good bit. And still, Jaden Daniels and Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels being the quarterback at Kansas, they're going to have to find ways to keep him clean. Even though that, K-State's defense isn't as good, they still have a good defense. And like Wyatt talked about, they are going to be down one of their best pass rushers. So that's not going to be a great situation for them. But I do think that this is going to be a close game. I think these are two very good teams, and I'm interested to see how it turns out. I'll be tuning into this one for sure. And also, it's a rivalry game. I mean, this game matters. This game matters to both of these teams, whether they're both 5-0, 6-0 coming into it, or whether they're both 500, or whether they're both winless. This game will always matter, and it's going to be a fun one to watch for sure. The Sunflower Showdown coming up next week. We'll actually be airing that game over on Hits 106.9. You'll hear Brian Haney and the Kansas broadcast. So if you're looking for that one, over on Hits 106.9, our sister station. Sports Day Today is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street here in Great Bend. Also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Also by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make Barton Community College athletics programs the best in the country. Let's do a couple more. Also by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. And also by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. That's going to do it for this segment. We'll get to our next break. When we come back, Lyles Lashley, the world-famous Cajun chef is what Webby called him, among other things he's going to tell you in the interview. He joined me for a short conversation talking about Great Bend High School cross country and talking about what they've already done and previewing WAC tournaments and regionals upcoming here pretty quickly. So we'll listen to that conversation on the other side of this break. You're listening live from the Mayo Money Management Studio right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
C&E Doors, this is Eddie.
I need some work done.
Are you in a haunted house?
No, it's my garage door. I think I might need a new one.
We can take a look. We can do repairs and replacement. We'll see what's right for you.
What a relief. I thought I was going to get stuck in here.
Call the guys in orange at C&E Doors to fix your haunted house.
C&E Doors, Great Bend. Follow the orange signs just south of 10th and Harrison.
The National League Championship Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. This is October.
Knocks it down. Picks it up. He throws home. And the run scores. He threw it away. He threw it right by everybody. Kim scores. And the Dodgers win it in 11. And they are on to the NLCS.
The Dodgers take Game 1, 2-1 in Milwaukee. Game 2 tonight, 6:30 on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's, make it happen.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry now joined by, what is it Webby called you? The world-famous Cajun chef, Coach Lyles Lashley of Great Bend Cross Country, as well as track and field. Coach, how are things in your neck of the woods?
Good. That's probably the nicest thing he calls me. He calls me a lot of other things, and that's probably one of the nicest things, so we better stick with that. No, everything's going well. Just getting ready to head to Liberal, Kansas on Thursday.
Yep. In the middle of an off week for you guys. You guys did pretty decently. Had the rush at Brown Thrush 2 weeks ago, or last week, pardon me. But like you said, in the middle of an off week right now, prepping for WAC.
Yeah, so we took off last week, and it's kind of something we usually do just to I think too many teams race too many times and don't ever get training in. So, it's tough on kids to do that, but if they'll buy into it, it's a great thing to do is train that extra week, get those extra workouts in, and get that training in, and then also too to have some people get their a little banged up to get them healthy too and get them right. So that was kind of our goal, was to have everybody rolling at the same time this week at WAC, and it looks like, knock on wood, hopefully we'll be at full strength on Thursday.
Well, go ahead and talk about that. What is the healthier team like, and is there anybody you expect to not be able to go?
No, we should be good to go unless something drastic hits the next 2 days. Of course, with sickness is going around right now, you never know there too. So I'm looking forward to seeing them all roll together.
Talk about some of your young runners. The name, again, I know we talked about it last time, but just remind people, Sydney Stein and Decorah Schroeder, they continue to impress. Both of them just freshmen and placed really well in the past week.
Yeah, they at that Bishop meet, that was a really good meet because you had Bishop Carroll and you had Cape and Mount Carmel, and probably the top two schools in the state team-wise, and then they have some very good individuals too. But they were both their second and third girl in our school history to ever break 19 minutes on any course. So I was quite impressed with that. And then some of the girls they beat were in the top 10 last year at the state meet. So what those girls are doing. And then, of course, Bella has been right there with them, too. So we're excited to see those three girls lead us this week.
So you have WAC coming up on Thursday, traveling down to Liberal. What do you expect to see?
Definitely Dodge is, on the girls' side, is gonna push us really hard. Dodge has come on here at the end, and they have, I think, 3 or 4 freshman girls that are also really good. There's one girl that actually beat our 2 girls in middle school every time they raced them. So, we expect her to be up there with our girls. And then, they have a strong contingency. And so it'll come down to, our 4th and 5th girls, how they respond and how they do well. I'm thinking based on the workout that they're going to do well. So we'll see there. On the boys' side, definitely going to be Gardens, definitely a favorite. And Dodge is definitely, picked to finish second. And I think we're picked to finish third. With our young kids, so we're excited to see how they compete at that meet, and a couple of them have a varsity experience already, so hopefully they'll at the WAC, so hopefully they'll key in and play well. And it's supposed to be windy, and sometimes those bad weather days favor us a little bit. So hopefully we can surprise and maybe beat Dodge, but I think it's going to be Garden and Dodge show, and hopefully we'll give them a little run.
You're in the middle of kind of a long layoff right now, but one where you want to stay healthy. You don't want to run too much, but how do you not run too much but still stay ready to go when the tournament time comes?
No, we pushed last week. We pushed pretty hard.
Okay.
That's the whole goal of the week was push hard and get through it. But like I said, we were fortunate we didn't have really anybody too banged up, so we were able to push through that and get some good quality workouts. We had a couple of kids that got sick, but they was just a kind of a 1 or 2 day thing. But we had good days and put some good quality workouts in.
Okay, and you have you're hosting regionals in 2 weeks, correct?
Yes, this will be the 7th year in a row we've hosted it, so we're excited about that.
Okay, yeah, I know that we're looking ahead a little bit, but talk about regionals and what you expect.
Regionals, it'll be, I think on the boys' side, it'll be, 4 or 5 teams competing for the 3 spots. On the girls' side, it's basically the same thing as 4 teams competing for 3 spots. To make it to the state meet as a team, 3 teams make it from each region. We're fortunate to be able to run on our home course, so I think that'll definitely be to our advantage. Just hopefully we use it to our advantage.
Yeah, how much does? Oh, go ahead.
Every region team, I think, except for Goddard, actually ran at our home meet. I think they just assume we're going to host every year, so they come to our meet just to get that experience in. So it is a big advantage, but like I said, those other teams have been there before too. So it's not like they're coming to the meet with especially since if you get seniors, you're looking at seniors that have possibly run that course 7 times before this meet. So it's being able to be out there and train there every week and to know the nicks and necks of all the turns and all the hills and all that stuff. It's definitely a challenging course, and it's definitely an advantage to have being our home course.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would just think that having familiarity with the grounds would be such a major advantage in running it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. And Coach, what else is happening in your world right now that people need to be aware of?
Not a whole lot. Just trucking along with that, and then, doing the old food truck thing and enjoying that part too. But staying busy every weekend with that, between that across country. And, you don't look for the season to be over with, but also you get a little downtime then because the food trucking and that will be there. So, but I'm looking forward to the next 3 meets with the WAC and regionals, and hopefully we get some folks running at the state meet.
Who do you, and I know we're looking ahead here, is there anybody that you expect to make it to state?
Oh, I never say anything like that. I don't count those other eggs in the basket. I'm a very superstitious fella. You could be ranked number 1 in the state, and I don't guarantee you anything because you know how things go.
Fair enough. I understand. Hey, Coach, thanks for taking the time today.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. We need to get you in studio here whenever this season ends, and we'll talk about other stuff.
Absolutely. Over December, Christmas time, be great.
Absolutely. All right. He is Coach Lyles Lashley of Great Bend High School joining us here on Sports Day. The world-famous Cajun chef, as he is evidently known around these parts. I love that as a nickname. He might be the only Cajun chef around here. I don't know. It's also nice to know that there are people around here that are also from around where I'm from. It's like, I've only been to have I ever been to Louisiana? I'm trying to remember. I don't think I've ever actually been to the state of Louisiana. I've driven pretty much everywhere around it. I don't think I've ever been in it. But either way, great dude, easy to talk to, and was a whole lot of fun joining Webby in the studio whenever he did, and we'll definitely get him back in here once cross-country season is over, and let him. He and I are going to talk about, Southern weather and Southern football and whatever else we can whatever else we can say that people aren't really interested in listening to, and maybe he'll get my Southern accent to come out a little bit. Who can say? But a great dude. Look, cross-country is one of those sports that I always looked at and said, there's no way in the world I'm ever taking part in that. And that's held. That is absolutely held. I have never in my life looked at cross-country. I've never looked at running. I ran a 5K once, like 7 or 8 years ago, and it took me about 30 minutes, which these people are finishing 5Ks in about 17 minutes. So in case you wondered how far off I am, that was when I was in significantly better shape, and I was still doubling these people's time. So the level of fitness you have to be at to successfully run cross-country is pretty insane to me. And, hats off to those kids. I can never do it. But we'll actually talk a little bit more about cross-country and long-distance running and all of that later this week on the show. Not today, though. Today, Coach Lashley is all you can get. We are very excited for the couple of shows coming up this week. We've got some good segments coming, but more on those later. Sports Day today is brought to you by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and in Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. All right, we got to get to our last break of the show. Going to be a little extended because it is the last break of the show. But when we come back, we'll preview Game 2 of the NLCS. We'll preview tomorrow's show. I want to go ahead and start advertising for that, so be on the lookout for it. But we've got to take a break. You're listening live from the Mayo Money Management Studio. It's Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Hey, Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
This year, Eagle Media Community Calendar, City of Great Bend and Sunflower Diversified Services Recycling Center teaming up to conduct a free citywide cleanup October 18th through the 26th. Residents will be able to dump office paper, newspapers and magazines, aluminum cans, plastic and glass bottles, corrugated cardboard and e-waste. Trash, metal, tires, household and hazardous waste products will not be accepted. Dumpsters will be set up at the Sunflower Diversified Services parking lot on 10th Street. To find out more, call 620-793-5800. Join the Family Crisis Center for a day of fun during its third annual Fall Festival from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Saturday, October 18th at Jack Kilby Square in downtown Great Bend. Enjoy fall games, face painting, vendors, food trucks, and live performances by Great Bend native Jaden's Jean and the Barton Dance Team. Also scheduled is an empowerment walk to stand in solidarity with survivors of all kinds of abuse. To find out more, call the Family Crisis Center, 620-792-1885. Trinity United Methodist Church in Great Bend sponsoring its 15th annual coat giveaway from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 18th at the church, 5700 Broadway. Thanks to generous donations from the community, the church will again provide lightly used coats and jackets at no cost to all those in need. To find out more, call 785-280-3094 and join the fight to end Alzheimer's disease by participating in the annual Walk to End Alzheimer's from 10 a.m. until noon on Sunday, October 19th at Jack Kilby Square. Registration begins at 9 a.m. with the opening ceremony and walk to follow. Funds contributed will help raise awareness in an effort to end this disease, so plan to join the fight today. For more information, call 316-512-9711. That's your update. I'm Steve Webster.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
C&E Doors, this is Eddie.
I need some work done.
Are you in a haunted house?
No, it's my garage door. I think I might need a new one.
We can take a look. We can do repairs and replacement. We'll see what's right for you.
What a relief. I thought I was going to get stuck in here.
Call the guys in orange at C&E Doors to fix your haunted house.
C&E Doors, Great Bend. Follow the orange signs just south of 10th and Harrison.
Hey seniors, this is your moment. Join us for Barton Community College's Senior Day on November 19th. Whether you're planning to knock out your gen eds before transferring or jump straight into a hands-on career, Barton has the path for you. Oh, and did we mention $6,000 in scholarships are up for grabs? Lock in your spot by November 1st at seniorday.bartonccc.edu. Your future starts now at Barton.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you. Landon Winkler. Say thank you to Landon. Landon keeps us, he runs the cameras, he runs the video feed. If you're watching us on YouTube or on GreatBendPost.com through the YouTube link, it's because Landon made that happen. And he does it every day. He takes an hour out of his time and comes and films this show. He's a trooper. And we could not do this show without Landon. So big thanks to him. Sports Day today is brought to you by Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also, by Freedom Claims Management, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health care insurance plan that fits your business's needs. All right, want to go ahead and promote tomorrow's show. We'll just go ahead and talk about it a little bit. As always on Wednesdays, we'll have on Coach Zach Baird of the Hoisington Cardinals. They remain undefeated, and they're the team that I call for, so I want to have them on the show. And they're a lot of fun. Went over to West Kansas and won in Lakin 70-0, taking down the Lakin Bronx. That was as dominant an effort as I think I've ever seen in high school football. Hoisington could have won by double that score if they just felt like it, but a really impressive showing for them. They've got Larned on Friday. I'm looking forward to that game. And also, Great Bend folks, this one is for you. We'll have on Tony Crow, former head coach of the Great Bend Panthers, now the head coach of the Hayes Indians. And we've been speaking about it all year. The matchup between Hayes and Great Bend is this Friday. Up in Hayes, they're going to be wheeling in extra seating for that one. And I, for one, couldn't be more excited. Y'all have to excuse me for a second. I need to sneeze. Maybe. I've got a tickle in my nose, and it keeps going every time I talk. But when I step back from the mic, it just went away. So I think we're good. I wouldn't swear to it. But if I do just step back and sneeze at some point, you've all been warned. All right, coming up later on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM tonight. 6:30, we'll have NLCS Game 2 between the Dodgers and the Brewers. Dodgers leading 1-0. This game will be in Milwaukee. Once again, Milwaukee pretty much, I don't want to say they have to take this. Yes, they could go on they could go on the road and take down the Dodgers in LA, but boy, that's a tough environment to do it in. Unfortunately, the Brewers will have to face Yoshinobu Yamamoto tonight. He has been fantastic in the postseason so far. 2.53 ERA, 11 strikeouts, 1-1 record. He's been really, really solid for LA. The Brewers are sending out Freddie Peralta. Peralta not as great. He's pitched a couple more innings with a 4.66 ERA and 15 strikeouts. He also has a 1-1 record. Again, the Brewers had the go-ahead run on second, the tying run on third, with 2 outs and the count full when Blake Trinan got a big-time strikeout for the Dodgers. And they came very close to winning that game. They came very close to at least tying that game, as there was a a ball that would have hit the batter, whose name escapes me at the moment, Bryson Terang. It was Bryson Terang up to bat for Milwaukee. He moves out of the way of a pitch that would have hit him in the back leg, and if he takes it, the game's if he takes that hit, then the game is tied. And then who knows what happens there? Milwaukee could very easily have walked that game off because the bases still would have been loaded. But he swings and misses at a high fastball, and now we're here. And this is going to be a really interesting game because clearly I think this is going to be a close series. Mariners and Blue Jays has been lopsided so far. The Mariners won a very close game in Game 1. Last night's game in the ALCS was not close at all. Seattle just looked so much better. And I don't know if that can continue. I don't know where you go from here if you're Toronto, because now you have to go to Seattle. Or no, excuse me, Seattle was the home team for this one. No. Gosh, I can't remember who the home team was. Either way, going down 2-0 is a bad way to be. It was in Toronto, I remember. So now you have to go to Seattle and try to at least win 2 games. I mean, you can't go down 3-1, I don't think. Or you can't go down 3-0 and expect to have a realistic shot at a comeback. So I think, yeah, they have to go into Seattle and win both games if they want to come back in this series. That's going to be tough because that place wants a championship in some sports so bad. I know they have the Seattle Kraken, and the Kraken have been really good, but they want a championship for the Mariners so bad. They're the only franchise in Major League Baseball, for anybody who wasn't aware, the only franchise in Major League Baseball to never play in a World Series, one of 5, I think, currently playing that have never won a World Series. So they desperately want one. That team desperately wants one. That fan base desperately wants one. I'm hoping they can get one. I'm rooting for Mariners the rest of the way. Final thoughts here as the music is about to hit. I got to thinking about Monday Night Football again and the Falcons and the Bills and the way that matchup looked for Atlanta. It was a whole lot of fun. I hope the Falcons can keep it up. More importantly, they need to make the red helmets, black jerseys, white pants the permanent look. That's such a good look, and right now the Falcons uniforms are so bad. They don't look good. And going back to that old aesthetic, you don't have to go back to the old logo, but you need to go back to the old color palette, and that's such a good look. And hey, the Bills also wore their away throwbacks, and they look fantastic as well. So with any luck, the Falcons will get the message. Maybe the Bills will as well. Old school fashion in the NFL is the way to go. It looks so much better than the modern stuff. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Big thanks to Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. Big thanks to Lyles Lashley, head coach of Great Bend Cross Country. Big thanks to Landon Winkler for keeping us on the video feed. I'm Brant Daughtry. Same time, same place tomorrow, 12:30 right here on 1590.